Namaste. So when you're ready, let's come down to our relaxation, our Shavasana today. Sure, you feel comfortable, that you're warm as you rest on the earth. And just giving yourself a moment to arrive here. Just observing how the lower back feels. And that's going to determine whether you take a bend in the knees, place the soles of the feet onto the floor, or have the legs extended all the way out in front of you. Start to feel comfortable through the middle of the upper spine. Soften, release the shoulder blades, arranging the arms and hands either alongside the body, or take a bend in the elbows as a hands cradle the lower abdomen. Softly close the eyes. And as you arrive here today, just see if you can let go of your day and the week so far. Maybe taking an in-breath in through the nose and exhaling, sighing out through the mouth. And just doing that a couple more times. Every time you exhale, feeling that sense of melting and release. And sense down all the way from the crown of your head to the tips of your toes. Exploring how the body feels today. Whether you feel energized or sluggish. Maybe the body feels heavy in parts or light. Just observe how you feel in your physical self right here, right now. Gently escort awareness to the breath. The ebb and flow of life, the nourishing inhalation, cleanse and exhalation. Just observing how the rhythm of the breath can appear to change. And we don't need to change it in any way. You can just notice that maybe there's a different length occasionally to our breath, a different tone occasionally to the breath. And as you continue to observe the breath here today, can you see if you can gently focus on lengthening the exhalation perhaps? It's challenging to lengthen the exhalation. Just focus on seeing if you can smoothly allow that exhalation to be released through either the nose or the mouth, just depending on how you're feeling today. To breathe well, even if that means breathing through the mouth rather than the nose. Gently, and in the next breath or two, if your knees are bent, please start to straighten the legs all the way out in front of you. I'm going to start to take the arms overhead to where it feels comfortable for you today, so just observe how the shoulders are feeling. I'm going to take a lovely full body stretch. So start to stretch from the fingertips down through the hands, the wrists, the arms. Size of the body, just observing the size of the body lengthening and growing. Feeling that stretch into the lower back, into the tops of the hips, the thighs, the legs, into the ankles, the feet, the toes. Yourself almost growing as you stretch. Into the start of our yoga class today, carefully release the arms and hands to rest back alongside the body, bend up the knees, place the soles of the feet onto the floor. So we're going to come into windscreen wiper legs, a version of Apanasana. I'd like you to separate your feet, please, so that they're the width of your mat. And as you do that, ensuring that the lower back feels comfortable. Sinking the lower back down into the earth. Releasing the shoulder blades down into the mat. Tuck the chin in towards the chest just to protect the neck today. And we're going to inhale here with both knees to centre. As we exhale, just start to take both the knees over towards the right, not forcing the knees down to the floor. Just allow them to find their natural resting position, observing how it stretches through the tummy, the lower back, into the hips, tops of the thighs. Inhale, bring the knees back to centre. As you exhale this time, take both the knees over towards the left. Continue windscreen wiping the legs from right to left. It's really important here that we don't rush this pose today. Want to allow this pose to warm up those muscles, tissues and ligaments in the lower part of the body, particularly around the lower back, the belly and the hips. If we rush through this, there's a tendency that we're going to just lose some of that feeling that we get when we start to warm and start to stretch into some of our yoga poses. It feels super. Just try and look after yourself by not rushing. A few more here. And let's make this our last exhalation. Please bring the knees all the way back to centre, and you want to bring your heels a little bit closer to your sitting bones. So heels are in line with the knees, still feeling comfortable, still feeling symmetrical, the whole back body resting on the earth. Arms and hands are still alongside the body, sinking the shoulder blades down into the earth. Tuck the chin in towards the chest. And we're going to come into a variation of yogic bicycles now, so we're going to really start to fire up those core abdominal muscles. We're going to bring the knees up high over the chest, and then from here you want to push the knees away slightly so that you take a bend through the knees and that the lower part of the legs, your calf muscles, are parallel to the mat. As you do that, you want to start to gather in around the belly, draw those front ribs back. Check how the neck and the shoulder blades feel. Still feeling soft around the shoulders and the neck, the jaw. You're going to extend out through the arms, fingertips towards the sky. So extend the arms all the way out. As you do that, sink the shoulder blades back down into the earth. You want to hold on to that core abdominal strength, so drawing around the belly, knitting the front ribs back. Inhale here as you exhale. Extend out through the right leg and hover that right leg out in front of you, about an inch above the mat. Inhale, bring that right knee back. As you exhale, do exactly the same on the left side. So you extend the left leg and hover that left leg an inch above the mat. Continue with your breath. So you're going to really start to feel it down into the pelvic floor, into those core abdominal muscles, working into the tops of the legs, into the hamstrings as well. And of course, if you need to take a break anytime as you go through this variation of yogic bicycle, please do. Just hug the knees in towards the chest. So make sure you're breathing and you're smiling. Let's do a few more. Trying to keep the pelvis super steady. Trying to keep that steadiness around those core abdominal muscles, that band of muscles that go around our belly into the lower back. Let's make this our last one. Exhale. Bring the legs back to center, bring the knees back to center, hug the knees in, gently rock from side to side. Feeling as you draw the thighs in towards the chest, you can just massage the belly, those abdominal muscles a little bit more. And then bring the knees back to center. You're going to take the right hand on top of the right knee and release the left arm just to rest alongside the body. You're going to keep the right hand on top of the right knee. You're going to draw in around the belly, draw those front ribs back. So you're going to keep the pelvis nice and steady as you start to circle through the left leg. So circling that left knee towards the ceiling, slowly, carefully. Just trying to ease out those hip flexors. If you're happy that you can keep the right knee nice and steady, then release that right hand. Change direction of your circles on the left side. Observing nice steadiness through the pelvic bowl. Breathing, keep releasing around the shoulders, the neck, the jaw. Let's bring that left knee back. Let's swap hands over. So take the left hand on top of the left knee. Keep that right arm resting alongside the body. We're drawing around the belly, knit the front ribs back. Let's start to circle through that right knee. So keeping the pelvis super steady. Releasing that hand from the left knee if you need to. Might be slightly trickier on this side, or maybe it's easier. Change direction of the circle when you're ready. And then let's finish the circle on the right side. Hug both knees in, gently rock from side to side. Bring the knees back to center, raise your right arm up, keep that right arm elevated as you roll all the way over onto your right side, resting for a moment with your head on that raised arm. Allowing yourself to take a little fuller inhale and a little fuller exhale. Slowly, carefully bring some awareness and attention into your left fingers, your left hand. When you're ready, you're going to push down into that hand. Use that hand to steady yourself as you slowly, carefully come all the way up. We're going to come into our easy pose into Sukhasana. So you're going to need a yoga block or a cushion from your sofa, from your settee for this. So just take a moment to find either one of those, and we're going to come into a comfortable seated Sukhasana or seated easy position. And we know the way we come into this pose varies each week, just depending on what sort of week we've had, how active we've been, if there's anything going on in the body, any tightness, any tension. So observe whether it feels more comfortable for you today to have the legs extended out in front. Watch the hamstrings. We'll come into a comfortable cross-leg position. We're going to take a bend in the elbows and just take our forearms, the top of our hands, on to our thighs. And as we arrange our sitting bones comfortably on our cushion or on our block, we start to root down and allow the spine to lengthen. We're going to release the shoulder blades all the way down the back and keep the chest open. Collarbones floating up towards the sky. And there's very much a feeling of buoyancy here in the body as we bring integrity to the spine, that length and space around our lungs, our diaphragm, our heart, all our internal organs. We've got that lovely sense of buoyancy in space, extending all the way up through the crown of the head. Take a moment here. So we're going to use our Sukhasana today to explore a pranayama breathing exercise called bumblebee breath or Brahmari breath. And it's a lovely breathing exercise to do if you're feeling anxious or stressed. And as with any pranayama exercise, if this really doesn't suit you today, just please breathe normally, but I'd invite you to close your eyes so you can really concentrate and turn it inwards with your breath and how you're feeling today. So with our bumblebee breath, our Brahmari breath, we're going to want to turn inwards and really have the sense of bumblebees inside of our lungs, in our head when we're breathing. And what we're going to do, you're going to observe me first, I'm going to demonstrate. What we're going to do while sitting up nice and comfortably is we're going to take our hands to either side of our head. And our tips of our thumbs are going to just press into our ears. And then with our forefinger, we're going to make our Gyan Mudra. So we're going to make that circle on the top of our thumb, either side of our head, pressing into our ears. With the remaining 3 fingers, the fingers are going to come around and close our eyes. So this is how we're going to come into this pranayama exercise today. We're going to bring all of our senses inwards. So just observe while I demonstrate, and then we're going to try it all together only if you want to. So I'm going to just press my thumbs into my ears just to close the ears. And I'm going to bring my 3 fingers to my eyes to close my eyes. I'm going to close my mouth in a moment. I'm going to take a nice inhale, and as I exhale, I'm going to make the sound of a bumblebee in the back of my throat. So please observe. So we take a nice inhale with the mouth closed. And as we exhale, for the duration of the exhale, we make that bumblebee sound. And when you're closing the ears, closing the eyes, you can really bring the senses inwards and really enjoy this lovely pranayama exercise, but only if you want to do so. So make sure that you're comfortable, rearrange through the legs and the feet. Remember that feeling of buoyancy and space through the body. Spine's lengthening. Let's take the hands either side. We're going to make our Gyan Mudra. So stick your thumbs out and take your forefinger and make a circle on top of your thumb. And then bring those thumbs to the ears. With your 3 fingers, bring the 3 fingers in front to close the eyes. Close the mouth. Inhale in through the nose. And as you exhale, keep the mouth closed. Make that bumblebee sound. So let's do a few more rounds of this. Inhale. Let's make this our last one. So a nice inhale in. And as you exhale. the eyes closed as you remove the fingers from your eyes, the thumbs from your ears. Take your arms back onto your lap. Close the eyes, allow the breath to return to normal. Observe how that bumblebee breath feels in the body breath, in the mind. Start to bring awareness back to you, to your breathing. Start to bring some light back into the eyes. Start to blink the eyes open. Keep your gaze down towards the mat, towards the earth for a moment. Blink in a few times. Slowly, carefully, lift your chin, lift your head all the way up. Let's come out of our easy pose, out of our Sukhasana. We're going to come onto all fours into our tabletop pose. We're going to do a couple of rounds of cat-cow curl and then a super side bend. So let's get our blanket for our knees in our tabletop position. Spread the fingers apart. Arrange the hands and the fingers underneath the shoulders. You and our elbows facing one another. Push the earth away. Take those shoulder blades away from the ears. Just notice that super length through the spine, out through the crown of the head. Tops of the feet onto the mat behind you. As you inhale, you're going to drop the belly, lift the sternum and your gaze forward into cow. As you exhale, arch the back. Arch the back into cat. Take your gaze down towards the mat. Do that a couple more times. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the sternum, your gaze forward. Exhale. Observing, moving around the muscles, tissues and ligaments surrounding the vertebrae along the whole length of the spine. If there's any tightness or tension, if there's any spots of tightness or tension in the back, really trying to flow and stretch into that area. Do a few more here. And on our next exhale, just coming back into a lovely neutral spine. Still remaining on all fours, our tabletop, so still spread the fingers, push down into the pads of the hands to push the earth away. And then from here, you're going to step back with your right leg. So you're going to come on to your right tiptoes. Push into the hands, lengthen the spine, inhale here. As you exhale, you're going to cross that right leg over your left kneeling knee, your left lower leg, and you're going to take a side bend round to the left to look at those right big toes. And this is a super side stretch. You can really feel that into the right side of the body, into the top of the right hip, possibly into the glutes. Keep breathing. Inhale here. As you exhale, level the spine back up. Bring the spine back to neutral and then uncross the leg. We'll do that on our final side. So still ensure the wrists, hands and fingers are comfortable. Push the earth away. Step back, extend out through your left leg, coming onto your left big toes. Push into the hands. Inhale here. As you exhale, cross that extended left leg over your right kneeling knee, right lower leg. Take your side bend round to look at those left toes. Mirroring that stretch, this time on the left side, feeling that into the top of the left hip. Inhale here. As you exhale, level the spine back up, bring your gaze back to center, uncross that left leg. Take a moment, sink down into child's pose. Melt the heart, melt the chest down, extend the arms out in front. And bring some wrist movements into the hands and the wrists and fingers. Bring some movement back. Sure they feel comfortable. Inhale here. As you exhale, slowly, carefully curling all the way up, curling the spine up. We're going to get ready to come into downward facing dog. So just take your blanket out to one side. We're going to need that possibly in a moment just to look after knees as we come into a step through. Please remove your socks unless you've got your yoga special sticky socks on. We're going to come on to all fours. So just as we were, fingers, hands and wrists, push the earth away. Check the knees are hip width apart. Draw the navel in towards the spine. Tuck the toes under. Shift your weight back. Come into your downward facing dog. Making any adjustments that you need through the hands and the feet. Let's walk the dog. Bringing movement into the legs, into the hips. You're going to come back into your static downward facing dog and you're going to come into your three-legged dog. Shift the weight onto the left foot. Reach up with that right leg. Point the toes on the right foot down towards the floor. You're going to take a bend in the right knee. Shift the weight over the hands as you step that right foot in between the hands. We know from practice if that right foot doesn't quite get there, use your right hand to guide it there. Find your blanket and lower your left knee down. Uncurl the top of that left foot so the top of the left foot is pushing it into the earth. So if you're comfortable through that left knee, through that right foot, we're going to come all the way up. Draw the navel in towards the spine, switch those core abdominal muscles on. Extend out through the arms, fingertips up towards the sky, soften and release the shoulders. Arm a big low lunge here. Really challenging our balance and working those core abdominal muscles. Stretching and lengthening through the side body. Inhale here. As you exhale, tip forward and frame the right foot with your hands. Just move that blanket over towards the right and lower that left knee down. Uncurl the toes on the left foot. Push into the hands. As you push into the hands, shift the weight back towards the left knee, left thigh. That creates space for you to bring that right knee round. And then we're going to try that on the other side. So looking after fingers, hands and wrists. Navel in towards the spine. When you're ready, come into your downward facing dog. Shift the weight back. Adjust the hands and the feet. Walk the dog again. Coming back into your static downward facing dog. Let's come into three-legged dog. Shift the weight into the right foot this time. Reach up with the left leg, toes towards the earth. Keep breathing. Take a bend in the left knee. Shift the weight over the hands as you step that left foot in between the hands. Remember, if the left foot doesn't quite get there, use your left hand to gently place it there. Find your blanket and lower the right knee down onto your blanket. So taking a moment to uncurl that right foot, the top of the right foot pushing into the mat behind you. Right knee feels comfortable, left foot feels comfortable. Come all the way up. Use the core abdominal strength to help with your balance. Draw the navel in towards the spine, sink the tailbone down. Stand out through the arms, fingertips towards the sky, release the shoulders. Inhale in. As you exhale, tip forward, frame that left foot with your hands. Tuck the toes under on the right foot, lift that right knee, move the blanket out of the way. And then when you're ready, you're going to step back with the left foot. Let's take a moment here. Coming back onto our all fours. Fingers spread apart. Knees are hip width apart. Draw the navel in towards the spine. Tuck the toes under. Shift the weight back into the thighs. Come up into your downward facing dog. So we're going to hold just a normal downward facing dog for a little bit longer. We've done our step through into a low lunge. Keep the shoulders active. Draw the ribs towards the thighs. Maybe bend the knees. Maybe push the heels down towards the mat a little bit further. Keep the neck nice and long, releasing the crown of the head towards the mat. Pushing down into the fingers, the whole palm of the hands. If this is too much, come out with this downward facing dog. Take a moment. Couple more breaths. If the knees aren't already bent, bend the knees, look towards the hands, taking as many steps as you need today. Either walk the hands towards the feet towards the hands, coming into Uttanasana. So arrange the hands wherever they feel comfortable, maybe taking the hands to the inner elbows to make that box shape. You can rock from side to side. Maybe take the hands behind the calf muscles, hands onto the feet, sides of the feet. Whatever you're going to do, draw the chest towards the thighs, the crown of the head towards the mat. Breathe into that upper back body, that space that we've got, the back of our lungs. Really feel yourself breathing into that area. If the hands are to the inner elbows, release the hands. You're going to push down to the feet. You're going to start to stack each vertebra on top of one another. Keep knees bent to look after the spine. Fingers, hands and arms are heavy. Watch blood pressure come up slowly. The last thing to come up will be your neck and your head. Then you're able to straighten out the legs, straighten out through the knees. So we're going to come into a variation of star pose that we've not done before. It's quite an energetic pose that really works the hips, the insides of the legs, the side body and the arms. So we're going to come into a Tadasana first. So just ensure that we feel comfortable in our stance, we feel grounded here. So just take a moment to readjust through the feet, the soles of the feet. Sensing that Pada Bandha energy as we root down, we draw that energy all the way up through the legs, up through the body, out through the arms, the hands, the fingers, out through the chest, the crown of the head. And then from here we're going to come into a comfortable wide stance. So the toes are still pointing out in front. And we want to root down through all four corners of the feet. We're going to take the arms out to the side. We're going to inhale here. As we exhale, we're going to bend that left knee and take our right hand to the left shin. Inhale, come back to center, straighten that left leg. Exhale, we take the left hand to the right shin. So continue. Inhale, when you come back to center, exhale. When you come back to center, you come all the way, see if you can come all the way up. You feel that working into the inner thighs, into the lower back, but give a work out to the shoulders and the arms. Let's do a few more. It's our last one. All the way up. Release the arms and the hands. So just ensure you're in a comfortable wide stance here. We're going to explore a couple of variations of warrior. So we're in a wide stance. We're going to turn the toes on our right foot out, toes on our left foot into about 45 degrees. And we're going to take a nice bend through that right knee. So check that right knee safe. It's directly above the ankle. We can see the big toe. And then you want to push down into the outer edge of that left foot. As you do that, see if you can turn your ribs towards me. Draw the navel in towards the spine. Switch those core abdominal muscles on. Sit the tailbone down. You're going to raise up your arms. Release the shoulders. Turn your gaze over the right hand. Breathe. And then see if you can squat down a little bit further through that right knee. Inhale, we're going to turn the palms towards the sky. Exhale, palms towards the earth. Inhale, palms towards the sky. Exhale, palms towards the earth. Continue. Inhale. Let's do our last exhale. Keep the arms aloft. When you're ready, we're going to reach all the way over towards your right. So I'm pulling your right hand away. And you're going to keep in this reaching position. So I'm pulling your right hand away, and you're going to see if you can come onto the toes, tiptoes on your right foot. So keep reaching, keep drawing the navel in towards the spine, keep those core abdominal muscles on. We're really working into the leg muscles here. Ready, release that foot back down onto the mat. Come all the way back. And then come into reverse warrior. So sink the left hand to the left thigh. Take the right arm up and over. Keep your ribs towards me. Nice reverse warrior. Breathe. Inhale here. As you exhale, come all the way up, straighten up through that right leg. Let's try this on the other side. Turn the toes all the way around. Toes on the left foot out, toes on the right foot into 45 degrees. Take a nice safe bend through that left knee. Directly above the ankle, we can see the big toe, and we're pushing down into the outer edge of that right foot. Navel in towards the spine, turn your ribs towards me. You're going to raise up your arms, release the shoulders, turn your gaze over your left hand and then squat down a little bit further into that left knee. Open up through the chest, working into the arms. Check you're not losing that connection with the tummy, navel in towards the spine, so tailbone down. Inhale, palms towards the sky. Exhale, palms towards the earth. Inhale, exhale. So continue. It's our last one. Keep the arms nice and aloft. Let's reach all the way over towards the left, as if I'm pulling your hand away. Keep that bend through that left knee. Keep reaching, and then from here we're going to come onto the tiptoes on the left foot. Keep reaching, keep breathing. Really working into the muscles on the left leg. Into those hamstrings. If the hamstrings are tight, you're going to feel this. So come out anytime you need to. It's not easy. Release that left foot down. Come all the way back to centre. Let's turn the ribs towards the front of the room, towards me. Take your right hand to your right thigh, ribs towards centre. Take that left arm up and over. Squat down into that left knee. Reverse warrior. Inhale here. As you exhale, straighten up through that left leg. Release the left arm. Toes towards me. Your toe all the way back to centre. Let's take the hands on the hips, feet directly underneath the hips. Bend your knees, draw those lovely hip circles. Change direction of your circles when you're ready. Back to centre, release the hands from the hips, push down into the feet, straighten the legs. We're going to do one final pose before we come into our final Shavasana. We're going to explore boat pose and Navasana. So come all the way down into a comfortable seated position. And I'm going to do this sideways on so you can see what I'm doing. Bend the knees and just draw the heels a little bit closer in towards the sitting bones. Take your hands onto the shins. As you take the hands onto the shins, push down into the sitting bones and allow that lovely length through the spine to lengthen out through the crown of the head. You're going to keep that length through the spine. You're going to draw the navel in towards the spine, so really using those core abdominal muscles, your core strength. And you're going to see if you can start to take the feet off the mat. Keep that length through the spine. That's going to help. If you round the back, then the whole pose sort of falls apart really. So keep that lovely length through the spine. Draw those draw the tummy in towards the spine. Draw those front ribs back. So this might be enough. It might be possible for you just to sit back a little bit further, but maintaining that length through the spine. You can extend the legs all the way out in front. Keep the bend in the knees. Take the arms either side. It might be possible for you to straighten the legs. So, keep that length through the spine. Keep drawing in, keep breathing, keep smiling. I bet you're doing really, really well. Excellent. When you're ready, release the feet down, hug the knees in, lower the head. Let's come into seated child's pose. Inhale here. As you exhale, lift the forehead off the back of the arms, the wrists come up slowly. Let's get ready for our final Shavasana. So find socks, an extra jumper. Find a comfortable, warm position, resting on the earth. Take a moment just to settle down into a comfortable Shavasana. Final relaxation. Surrendering the body to the earth. Arranging arms, legs, hands and feet comfortably. The legs extended all the way out in front, just sink the little toes out to the top two corners of the mat. Maybe bend the knees, place the soles of the feet onto the floor. To encourage the shoulder blades to soften and release into the earth. So it might feel comfortable if you have the arms alongside the body, or maybe just cradle the lower abdomen with the hands as you take a bend in the elbows. Close the eyes. And you can allow the back of the head to sink into the earth, just releasing any tension in the neck. Starting to release and relax the features of your face. Soften the forehead. Soften the eyebrows and the eyes. Space in between the eyes. Soften the nose and the cheekbones. Unclench the jaw. Just relaxing the tongue into the base of the mouth. Integration of our practice here today. Mind, body, and spirit. I give thanks for arriving safely in a new dawn, for the gifts of the eyes to see the world, the gift of mind to feel at home in my life, the waves of possibility breaking on the shore of dawn, the harvest of the past that awaits my hunger, and all the furtherings this new day will bring. very carefully just start to bring awareness back into the room. Back onto your body, resting on the earth. Bringing small movements into hands and feet, fingers and toes. Circling the wrists, circling around through the ankles and the feet. And only when you're ready, and just how we started class today, just take a lovely full body stretch as you stretch your legs out in front and take the arms and hands overhead. Enjoying that lovely stretch from your fingers down through the hands, the wrists, the arms, the sides of the body, hips, thighs, legs, feet and toes. Carefully releasing the arms when you're ready. Bend up the knees, draw the knees up over the chest into a self-embrace and gently rock from side to side. Bring the knees back to centre, raise your right arm, with that right arm elevated, just roll all the way over onto your right side, resting here for a moment with your head on that raised arm. And allow yourself to take a little fuller inhale and a little fuller exhale. When you're ready, and certainly in your own time, bring awareness into your left fingers, your left hand. You're going to push down into that hand. Use that hand to steady yourself. And you slowly, carefully come all the way back up to seated. So find a comfortable seated position. Either taking your cushion from your sofa or your yoga block. Crossing the legs or having the legs extended all the way out in front. And I'd like to invite you to join in to chant with me one final Om if you wish. Allowing the spine to lengthen, close the eyes, release the shoulders. You're going to take a nice full inhale. And as you exhale, sky above, earth below, peace within. Namaste. Thank you.